big news on the debt ceiling. Biden and McCarthy agreeing to a deal in principle, meaning that negotiations have ended and there's something on the table. Okay, let's look at this article here from NBC News. Biden and McCarthy to complete debt ceiling agreement Sunday, Jeffries tells Democrats. The text of the bill will be prepared by Republicans and reviewed by the Biden administration, House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries said in a letter to his caucus. So it says negotiators struck an agreement in principle Saturday night to extend the debt ceiling and avert a catastrophic default. The text will be prepared by Republicans and reviewed by the Biden administration before it is finalized, Hakeem Jeffries told the Democrats. Biden and McCarthy are expected to speak no later than 2 p.m. today. So this is in about a couple of hours from now, real time. So I'm excited to see what happens with this, like everybody else. Like, I'm not sure if you were able to catch my last video, but yesterday I was talking about how even if there is a deal struck, and even if there is something put on the table, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to pass the House. Okay, and it's due to the Freedom Caucus, who, let's just pull them up here real quick. Due to the Freedom Caucus members who have repeatedly said that they've shown that they're more than willing and ready and able to vote against whatever they feel like they need to vote against, and they vote as a block. Like, look at the damage they were able to do to McCarthy when he was just trying to get voted in as speaker. I mean, it took 15 attempts. So here's just some of the Freedom Caucus members. You know, Scott Perry, Lone Borbert, Chip Roy, Jim Jordan, Warren Davidson, Andy Biggs, Dan Bishop, Mo Brooks, Ken Buck, Ted Budd, Madison Cawthorn, Bed Sealing, Michael Clow, Andrew Clyde, Scott Desjarlius, Brian Donalds, Jeff Duncan, Russ Fletcher, Louis Gohmert, Bob Good, Paul Gosar, Mark Green, Major Taylor Green, Morgan Griffith, Andy Harris, Dana Hashberger, Yvette Harrell, Jody Heiss, Clay Higgins, Debbie Lesko, Mary Miller, Alex Mooney. Okay, there's a lot of them. Okay, Barry Moore, Ralph Norman, Gary Palmer, Bill Posey, Matt Rosendale, David Schweikert, Greg Stubbe, Tom Tiffany, Brandy Weber. New members endorsed by House Freedom Fund: John Bresian, Ali Crane, Anna Paulina Luna, Max Miller. So it's a long list. And if it's too far away from the Limit, Grow, and Save Act that they've passed in the House a couple of weeks ago, the Republicans, that is, they passed the Limit, Grow, and Save Act. If it's too far and away from that, they just might take their ball and not play with McCarthy and vote against it. Meaning, do we end up in a scenario where do Democrats come and save the day for the Republicans and McCarthy? It's a crazy scenario, but there is a possibility of that at least playing out. I mean, there's at least a possibility of that playing out. It's a non-zero possibility, and they don't. It doesn't seem like there's a huge stomach on the Democratic side to do that, but it's possible. He added that the top members of the Biden admin are also set to brief the House Democratic Caucus on the deal at 5 p.m. It is my expectation that over the next several days, there will be multiple opportunities to review and discuss the legislation with the Biden admin in advance of any midweek vote scheduled by House Republicans, Jeffries wrote. Midweek vote. So we're talking 3 days, 4 days at most, according to what Jeffries is saying here. During a press conference on Sunday morning, McCarthy said he and Biden will discuss the language of the bill during their call in the afternoon to make sure both sides agree. He also said the legislative text of the bill will be about 150 pages or less. 95% of GOP lawmakers are overwhelmingly excited about the deal, and he thinks it will have the backing of most congressional leaders. 95% of GOP lawmakers. It's not 100%, and with the 5-seat majority, they can only afford to lose 5 votes on any given vote, assuming that the Democrats are voting lock and step against the Republicans, which they likely will. He says this is going to be very transformational. Congress is literally going to spend less money this year than we spent last year, McCarthy said. The tentative agreement, which is expected to raise the country's borrowing authority in exchange for cuts to spending, was struck after weeks of negotiations led by Biden and McCarthy. Once the legislative language is finalized, it will have to pass both the GOP-led House and the Democratic-controlled Senate. Right. We all know that. A source familiar with the agreement told NBC News it includes a 2-year appropriations deal and a 2-year debt limit extension, effectively resolving the issue until after the 2024 election. It'll include work requirements for receiving federal aid under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, for Americans up to 54 years old, with exceptions for homeless people and veterans, but there will be no changes to Medicaid, the source said. Asked whether he's had conversations with Senate leaders, McCarthy said during his press conference Sunday that he has yet to talk to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, but he spoke with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell Saturday night to walk him through the deal. McCarthy said he plans to speak with Senate Republicans about the agreement in a conference call later Sunday. Okay, so the rest of this we've all kind of heard. Janet Yellen says recently updated her timeline from June 1st to June 5th. There's a lot of stuff happening today. a lot of stuff happening in the next few hours, and let's just all stay on the edge of our seats here, and let's just see what happens, because this is a really, really important time in the negotiations, and this is a really important step in solving this crisis. You know, what happens next, you know, is going to tell us how this crisis is going to be resolved. And that's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. All right, peace.